You know, in my Arthur Brooks notes that I keep in my drawer here, I have this wonderful expression that you've corrected from the Bible. When we often quote this, money is the root of all evil. My Arthur Brooks note says that it's not money, it's the love of money
Yeah.
in the Bible, and our attachment to money.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and our attachment to money is a real problem for all of us, not just leaders, although leaders have a tendency toward that because they have, in the United States in particular, an opportunity to earn a lot of it. And if you're money oriented, you're going to go into professions where you can make a lot of it and you'd be very attached to it. But that's a big problem. You're quoting St. Paul's first letter to his disciple Timothy, where he says, for the love of money is the root of all evil and will be pierced through by arrows, but and the whole thing is like, money's not bad, but being in love with money is bad. Now, why? Because remember, love is to will the good of the other. Never waste the love that you have on your heart on a thing. The love of cars is the root of all evil. The love of houses, the root of stuff is the root of all evil. And this is a really important thing to keep in mind. I mean, there is the old axiom is that you should only love people and use things. The problem in the modern world is that everything is pushing you to use people and love things. That's the mistake. And so, we should remember that and say, anytime you're really unhappy, you're in a funk, it's like things aren't going right in my life. Virtually always, you can look at your own life and say, what's wrong with my attachments? I've got some disordered attachments here. And the best way to look sort of forensically at your own attachments is to say, am I on the wrong side? Are my verbs and nouns messed up? Am I loving stuff and using people? Because if I am, I'm going to wind up being unhappy. Now I need to figure out how to reorder that. I need to work on my attachments to stuff and start loving people more. And I'm going to find myself in a happier place pretty quick.
So how did we square that, Arthur, with this last 20 years where in most companies, shareholder value has become the only prepotent goal of many public companies? How do we square that with what we're saying?
Well, the truth is that it doesn't square very well with human behavior. I understand the theory. I love Saint Milton Friedman as much as the next person, but and what he was trying to do as an academic is he was trying to sort of boil down the theory of capitalism to one rule. And when he wrote about shareholder value maximization, he wasn't saying that there's something immoral about doing something else. He was basically saying that if you run a firm and you work on shareholder maximization, you're going to have a more successful firm. But that doesn't crowd out all the other things that you're supposed to do. The problem is people saw that and they're like, okay, you got like sort of Gordon Gekko. Greed is good, right? And that's wrong. Greed is really, really bad. I mean, the truth is that morals have to come before markets. And the reason that this is a real problem is when we take this shareholder maximization model and we turn it effectively into a monistic management technique, even a religion of business, is not that we treat either people horribly, except that we treat ourselves horribly in business. We self-objectify. We make ourselves into homo economicus. It's basically all I'm good for is profit. I have one single objective. And anytime you reduce yourself to simply your economic objectives, you're going to do things wrong. You're going to cut corners. You're going to be unhappy. You're going to treat people poorly. And you don't want to be that person. Not just you don't want to be an ineffective leader. You don't want to be, that's an unvirtuous way to be. So the big problem with all of that is that it reduces people. We should never objectify anybody. Men shouldn't objectify women. People shouldn't objectify others as only a source of money, and we shouldn't objectify ourselves. We should be complete human beings that love others and love our shareholders and love our customers, and we love our employees, and we love our management team, and we love everybody. And only going off that as if it were some sort of misbegotten religion objectifies ourselves, and that's wrong.